How's it going, Not So Pro Nation? We are back at you with another, it's been a while, just a regular old football talk. What this podcast was originally founded on was just regular old football talk. And we're taking it back today on Monday, talking about football talk. We're going over all the biggest news that is going on right now in the NFL. So I don't know about you, Vincent, but I'm hyped. Yes, we are putting a little bit of pause. We've been just going back to mock drafts, getting ready for this fantasy football season, which has been great. We've been loving it. We've been loving the traction, especially from all of you guys, the NSP Gold members that are always tuning in, always helping us, jumping in those mock streams. We've been loving it, but we're just going to take a step back today, start talking about football a little bit as the season is officially getting closer and closer. So, Vincent, how are you feeling about talking just regular football right now?
What's up, Big Money Joe? I'm feeling pretty dang good, honestly. I feel like it's been slow, and maybe that's why we haven't talked about anything yet. So we've been letting it accumulate, letting it, culminate so that it can get juicier and juicier so we can have one of these good episodes. Sadly, Age is not here to defend himself with some of the topics. He can be in the comments if he wants to. But no, I'm excited. I love some drama in the NFL, especially in the offseason.
All right. What's up, Big Money Joe? And then K Dill says, Jordan Love holding what? Read by his test. No. That's not what's happening here. It's hold in. All right. So that's our first topic we're going to get to in a little bit. All right. But he's not holding anything. He's just hold in. All right. Disney says, no mocks. Peace out, boys. Have a nice night. Hey, you have a nice night too. I guess he doesn't. His football takes can't hold up against ours, so he has to head out. Hey,
yeah, Dizzle, go run another 7-minute mile, buddy.
Have fun with that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just jump in on this football talk. So first off, we got Jordan Love holding right now. Jordan Love has reported to Packers training camp, and he is there, and he's in good spirits. He is talking with everybody, but he has decided that, and him and his agents have decided that he is not going to practice. He is out on the practice field. He is just in his regular just Packer gear, not in pads, not in a red shirt showing that he's the quarterback. He's not taking any snaps right now. He is just there with the team. I imagine he's in with meetings, but he's not actively on the practice field. So it could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Vincent, as a non-Packer fan, what is your take and thoughts about Jordan Love's hold-in as he is waiting his big extension with the Green Bay Packers?
Hey, man, I love it. I love when quarterbacks that are not on my team hold out, especially when it's your team or AJ's team. It's amazing. But he's going to get a deal done. There's no way in HE double hockey sticks is what AJ says, that he's not going to be signed by the end of training camp or even by possibly the middle of training camp because they want him to practice with all the guys that they just drafted and that they've drafted the past few years for that offensive side. So I think Jordan Love's going to get an amazing contract, and it's probably going to be a little bit of a chokehold on y'all's cap. So hopefully the cap does keep rising as it has been. It'll help y'all out way later on because he'll probably be one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid quarterback after this offseason. But there will be guys to take his place within the next year or two. So,
all right,
that's how it is.
I like it. K-Dizzle corrects you and says 6 minutes, Mr. Vince. Remember when I run a 6
Tell me when you get to 4, buddy. Tell me when you get to 4.
Big Money just says Ayuk gonna get a long-term deal. Rumor says. I don't know. The latest rumor I heard was he's gonna get traded, but we're gonna talk about Ayuk a little bit later in this podcast. I do hope he gets a long-term deal, though. He definitely has deserved it. And Dizzle says my take is IDGAF. The Lions are winning that division. That too deep and too strong. Hey, I'm not gonna say you're wrong here. I've said all off season that the Lions are most likely the front runners are winning the NFC North this year. I wanted to say that the Packers are going to have a chance at it, and I do think they will have a chance at it. But I do think the Lions are going to falter, and it's not just going to be all the Packers just have to do good. They need the Lions to falter and not live up to their potential. So I will not say you're wrong there, Dizzle. I think the Lions are a good team, as much as I hate to say it. Vince, as a Seahawks fan, how does it feel not to have a franchise quarterback? Ooh.
It feels all right. We're in a bridge quarterback situation with Geno Smith. Possibly Sam Howell will be the next bridge quarterback until we can find that person who's going to be like a Jordan Love or a Patrick Mahomes or a Brock Purdy for just some of the top quarterbacks in the league right now. But we just don't know. It could be in 2 years. It could be in 10 years. We don't know. We had Russell Wilson. We thought that guy was going to be there for his entire career. But things go south. Some players just don't have the same talent throughout their entire career like Aaron Rodgers has had. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not too mad about it because we got a bunch of young players and we have a lot of cap space for other positions with the type of quarterback situation that we're in. So not mad at it at all. But I do hope we can get somebody locked down on a 5-year contract that's, top 10 material.
He says y'all are ruining DK's prime and you should trade him. I don't know about trade.
I think after this contract, trading him is a big possibility. I know we want to keep him as a Seahawk, but we'll see what happens as he either progresses or, falls. He's a big-bodied guy, so that body's got to give up one day.
All right. Big Money Joe says Seahawks let go of Russ at the perfect time. There's a lot of been great trades out there. I don't know if I could put this as the greatest trade for the Seahawks of all time, or just the all NFL trades of all time. But I will say it's going to go down as the greatest Seahawk trade of all time. That they will never get something better than this. He says JSN and draft another guy. Hey, they still have Lockett.
Yeah, Lockett. I think Lockett still has. I think he's on a 2-year extension on his contract, so he has 3 more years with us. So DK is on a 4-year extension, so got him for quite a while.
And then Dizzle says, get a quarterback that's your window past the 49ers collapse. That's when your window is, I guess.
Exactly.
All right. So back to Jordan Love. So my reaction to it as a Packers fan, I'm not really mad at him. Since he has come into the league and been drafted by the Green Bay Packers with a terrible situation for him, coming into where a quarterback is already the franchise guy, one of the greatest of all time, being a backup for Aaron Rodgers. He's done everything the correct way. From not being a distraction to saying, oh, I deserve to start. The Packers are holding me back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He has just been a quiet, answered all the media questions when he had to the right way, always saying, hey, I'm just here to learn and support my team, always answering the questions the right way, being a great teammate. And he did that all 3 years of being a backup. As a first-round draft pick type of talent, he just sat for 3 years and was quiet about it. Just be a team member, a great teammate. And his first year started off the first half kind of rough. Wasn't completely terrible, but you were honestly questioning, are the Packers going to be able to move forward with Jordan Love? And then the back half of the season, incredible. During that 8-game stretch, there's no better quarterback in the league. That is just a fact. Yes, there's better overall guys that you would trust, like a Patrick Mahomes, obviously. But as far as quarterback play, during that time, Jordan Love was the absolute best. What is up, Rave? Great to see you, man. We're talking about football, just regular football today, man. But Jordan Love has done everything the correct way. for him to end off last season with a playoff win and being able to contend with the 49ers. Yes, it was 2 late interceptions that ended up sealing the Packers' fate and let the 49ers move on to the NFC conference final. It was Jordan Love that got him there, that pushed him over the edge, that played a great quarterback play. And now he wants a big contract, and I don't blame him for it. Dizzle says, I need to see one more year from Mr. Love. The thing is, he's only got one more year on his contract, and if we don't extend him right now, that price just goes up more next year, and it's just going to, like, there's a chance that he can hit free agency. Yeah, we'll franchise tag him, of course, but then things just get, like, he's going to be upset with the Packers for not giving him the same respect that he has given them. It's just going to get messy. I say we have to get the deal done this offseason. Do not let it go into this season without one. We need to secure the future. Now, yes, there's total chance where we sign this guy to $50 million a year, and then he just flakes out. That's a totally possible chance. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen with how he was able to play with just year 1, year 2 guys, all of them very, very young with his entire offense, and he was able to do incredible things. What if he just becomes totally mid? It's totally possible. We're taking a gamble, but I think it's the best gamble the Packers can do right now. Now, in my opinion, $50 million for mid, we're getting into that. I don't want to pay him $50 million. I wish we didn't have to. But the problem here is Trevor Lawrence just got paid north of $50 million, and Trevor Lawrence is the definition, in my opinion, of mid. If Trevor Lawrence, who has won a playoff game technically, it was Titans collapse that let him win a playoff game 2 years ago. But Jordan Love has thrown for 30-plus touchdowns in his first year starting. Trevor Lawrence has never done that.
Yeah.
Jordan Love did it with a bunch of young guys. Trevor Lawrence did it with some guys who have been in the league. I'm not going to say this is the greatest talent, but Jordan Love did it with, like, I think I always think back to what the quote from the first Iron Man. Tony Stark built this in a cave in like a month or something like that. I forget the exact quote. Jordan Love did all this in a great season for a 4th year guy who's never started. He did it all with a bunch of sticks and twigs, basically, like, it wasn't much. I like all the guys we have, but let's be honest, they're a bunch of rookies and young guys. The question becomes, what does Jordan Love actually deserve in a contract? I wish we were able to right now just go back to Aaron Rodgers' contract. When he sat for 3 years, played that 4th year, and got a big contract, he became the 4th highest paid quarterback. I would love if he became the 4th highest paid. That would be sitting, I believe, at $50 million. Before all these quarterback deals got done this offseason, it was sitting like around like $47 million per year, which I was going to be okay with. Like, hey, I'm cool with that. Now it's looking like after Trevor Lawrence deal and him having the greatest agent in the NFL, Mulangeta, I believe his name is, I think he's going to get paid more than Trevor Lawrence and become the highest paid quarterback in about a couple of days, most likely. Vince, what's your reaction to this?
I agree, man. I think he's going to get close to like 54, 55 a year. And then I think it's still a great deal, though, because I think next year, quarterbacks or the next 2 years, I'll say the next 2 years, because I don't think there's any noticeable quarterbacks besides Brock Purdy, who probably would be having an extension, and Dak Prescott, who possibly might sign with another team. But other than that, there's not going to be anybody notable to take the number 1 spot away from Jordan Love if he gets north of what Trevor Lawrence got paid. But I'm looking at like 54, 55 million a year. I don't know how much guaranteed. That's going to be a number that I can't put my finger on there because, again, we saw what Deshaun Watson got, and we saw what Trevor Lawrence got, and then we've seen what other quarterbacks have gotten. And some of them are higher than you think, and some of them are a lot lower than you think. So for a young guy, I would expect a lot of money guaranteed just because he's still got a lot in the tank. But We just never know. It might be half guaranteed, but we'll have to find out. But those are my initial thoughts. I just think that it's going to be one heck of a deal.
For real. Trevor Lawrence really messed up everything with that deal. Ray says he's more likely to be mid than good, in my opinion. Don't extend him. The question is, if we don't go with Jordan Love, who do we go with? Like, who else do we try to get a guy in free agency? Do we try to go back to the draft and find another guy? That's a tough thing to do. And with a Packer team that's very young and very good, to restart like that, that's a tough decision to make. That's a very, like, you're putting your whole job on the line as the Packers GM and head coach to make that call. He might be mid. This gamble might not work out. That's the gamble you make with any contract. Bakhtiari's contract right before, a couple days before he tore his ACL and ruined everything. That looked like a great contract. Ended up being a horrible contract. Just says, agree, Reed, you got to pay him this offseason he's talking about. Rick says, not saying I don't believe in him. I'm actually a fan of him. It's totally possible that he just becomes mid. Like a Tony Romo of the league. You know, he's good enough to be a starter, but he never reached the upper echelons. It's totally possible. But Jags got a great backup, not going to lie. Mac Jones, yes. Honestly, it's better than most backups who have never seen the football field. So yeah, I'll give him that.
He's had his games, so
he has experience.
Yeah.
How is the Packers O-line? The Packers O-line is pretty dang good. We got all young guys. Jenkins, the oldest one, who's one of the best guards in the league. We got a revolving door as far as our center and right guard. Tackle situation is pretty good with Zach Tom on there, and I'm blanking on the other name. But it's not like the top 5 in the league, but it's like top 10, top 15 for sure. Hate.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's because we're saying love so much.
Oh, probably.
You gotta love Big Money, Joe. You gotta love. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. That's the quote. One of my favorite quotes of all time. Thanks, Dizzle. We appreciate it. We will trade you Drake May for Love. Would you take that? I have not seen enough Drake May tape to take this trade right now, Dizzle. We can talk more later. But I feel good with what we got right now. You have to offer a little bit more for Jordan Love, at least for me. He says, I'd rather have May no deal. Wow. Okay.
Jeez, he pulled it off the table.
Dang. All right. Hey, I hope you love Drake May then. I hope he works out great for you guys. I'm rooting for the Patriots' resurgence over the next few years. I'm hoping for it personally. You gotta love him or leave him alone. Ooh, Big Money Joe's dropping bars out here. Yeah, we gotta love him or leave him alone. We gotta do something with him, and I think we gotta love him. And most likely, it's gonna be making him one of the highest paid quarterbacks and players of all time. Actually,
yep.
Titans got the best backup in Mason Rudolph. It's also solid. Mason Rudolph's he's a backup guy that can win you games as a backup. Technically, he can. I'll give you that. Getting socked with the helmet makes him the best. Okay, that's fair. You know, hey, he's taking some things that other quarterbacks now, especially nowadays, have never taken. He's taking those hits.
Still love those memes. Dent in his head.
Pats will be back in a couple years. Don't you worry. All right, I won't worry then, Dizzle. I won't worry. You guys got this.
Hope so, for Mayo's sake.
Yeah, I think you guys can. I believe in you guys. So Jordan Love is sitting, just hanging out in the Packers facility, still being a great guy. There's a video of him and Matt LaFleur joking and laughing during practice. He still loves the Packers. Packers still love him. All the his teammates in the locker room during interviews today was all saying, hey, we got to pay this guy. We need him as our quarterback. That's all we care about right now. So the deal will get done most likely in the next couple of days. I would be surprised if it goes past this week. So we're going to have our new highest paid player here soon. And Dizzle says the Patriots defense is so underrated. I think you guys have a great defense. The question is, your architect, your great defensive minded head coach is now gone. That's my only worry for you guys. Dizzle, you know more about the Patriots than I do, so maybe you can tell me that I shouldn't worry about losing one of the greatest defensive minds of all time. And you guys still be good. I think you guys have a good defensive roster still, technically. But you lost one of the greatest defensive minds of all time. So that's going to be tough for you guys. But hey, Mayo learned from him. He should know all his secrets. But he's a great defensive mind too. We'll see that true testament without Belichick, though.
You can be great on the field, but you got to put it in the X's and O's for the players that are now on the field. We'll see.
Legit was Bills MLB middle linebacker. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, I'm rooting for you guys. It's not going to be this year, but in years to come, because potentially once the Bills, Dolphins, and Jets collapse, you guys have a wide open potentiality, in my opinion. Yeah. All right, so we are going to move on to our next topic after Jordan Love, and that topic is, will Tua be extended by the Dolphins? Ooh, Tua not so close to deal. I like it, fans. So, yeah, right now Tua is seeking a extension with the Dolphins. He has now played, I believe, 4 seasons in the NFL, and I'm not positive actually if the Dolphins picked up his 5th-year option because he was a first-round pick. I'm not positive if they picked it up. I would assume they did, but he only has most likely 2 years left on his contract before he can hit free agency. And Tua wants to get paid like the rest of his guys that got drafted with him, like Jalen Hurts, etc. He wants to be paid Trevor Lawrence. He wants to be paid like one of those top guys. Does he deserve to be? That's the real question, though. Now, Vincent here has been a big Tua guy in the past, so I will definitely want to hear more from him in a second. But I do believe, in my opinion, it's Mike McDaniel's real reason why this Tua offense has been able to work so well. We saw him put up 70 points against, the Broncos. So it's high-powered, but, I mean, he has some of the best weapons out there with Waddle, with Hill, with Mostert, with HN last year. He's got weapons all over the place as far as speed. Is the reason why Tua's good or playing well only because of those outside factors and they can get a better guy elsewhere? That's the question. Vince, as our Tua expert, what do you think?
I think he's going to get paid, but I don't think he's going to be a top paid quarterback. I don't think he'll make it in the top 5. To me, the reason why that offense works so well is because of, I believe his name is Mike McDaniels. Is their head coach. Yeah. Yep. I always get him mixed up with all the other McDaniels and Daniels of the NFL. But, Mike McDaniel is the reason why that offense is so explosive. They went after Tyreek Hill and got him from the Kansas City Chiefs. They drafted Jalen Waddle. Like you said, they drafted HN as well, and they got Mostert off of free agency when he wasn't going to get retaken by the 49ers. So he just kind of accumulated. And these guys have so much speed that they're one of the fastest teams in the league. Now there's other teams that rival them, so we'll see if the defenses of other teams can, stick it to them like they did when it was winter games. And then once it got into the crunch time of playoffs and all that stuff. But in my opinion, I think Tua is not close to a deal because they're kind of waiting for Love to get signed first. And then they're going to compare stats and all that stuff. And that's how they're going to come to an agreement on a deal. The only thing is I don't know if they want to do a 5, 6, 7-year contract with Tua. I think they're trying to look for something in the 3 or 4 year range just because they've seen the damages of those concussions. They've seen the damages of when top players get hurt. Tua is not the same type of quarterback. So they want some insurance. They don't want to give him a bunch of guaranteed money. They don't want to give him extended years unless they could possibly become void years. But that's what I see with Tua's contract here as someone who's followed Tua since he came out of Bama. I just think he's going to be in the range of about 45 or 46, which is still a lot of money, but it's not going to be upwards in the 50s. I could even say the highest being probably like 48, 49, but not 50.
All right. What's up, Andrea? Thank you for tuning in. We're not doing mock drafts today, so we get a little break right now. But we will be talking all about football news right now. But mock drafts will resume on Thursday. All right, so you guys don't need to worry. Dave K. Dizzle says, "Nah, Jets year. We all know. Definitely, I think they are a front runner for that division, at least my opinion." K. Dizzle says, "I love Tua at Bama, but that injury to his ankle at the end of his career in college hasn't looked the same since. He is a product of his environment / wide receivers." And that's one of the biggest, those two things right there, his injury rates that has been in the NFL with the concussions and his environment. Hey, he has some of the best weapons out there in the NFL, like quarterback's dream of having his situation. So I think that is all being weighed in those contract negotiations of how much he deserves to get paid. I do think the Dolphins would like to keep Tua. And I don't think they're thinking as far as like a first option, plan A, to be without Tua. I do think they want to move forward with him, but they don't want to start paying him the $50 million a year. Now, as far as where he lands, Vincent was kind of talking about it in like the 45, 46, maybe highest 48, maybe. I would agree with that before this Trevor Lawrence deal. This Trevor Lawrence deal, in my opinion, has made every quarterback be able to say, "Hey, look at this, and I want that." All right?
Pretty much.
This is what I deserve. Look at my stats versus him. This is what I should be getting paid. Trevor Lawrence went way past what I think he deserved. That has ruined this entire quarterback market. We also have Christian Kirk get paid a couple years back, and that ruined the wide receiver market. That was the deal that made every wide receiver say, "Hey, look what this guy got paid. I deserve that. I deserve north of that. I deserve more than that."
Those pesky Jaguars, man.
And now Trevor Lawrence has ruined that. And like I think in my opinion, before that contract, he should land in the 45, 46 range. We have Daniel Jones, who I think is absolute garbage, landing $40 million a year. I think Tua definitely deserves more than that, probably 5 or 6 more a year than that. So that's where I think he should end up. This Trevor Lawrence deal kind of ruins all that, and I think he's probably going to get in the $50 million range. You kind of look at Jalen Hurts. He hasn't been able to accomplish the same amount as Jalen Hurts because of the team he's on. I don't think the team is built to go into playoffs, in my opinion. So he hasn't gone to the Super Bowl like Jalen Hurts has. I just don't see a way that Tua can get that 50+ million a year that these other guys had. Now that's what he's going to go for, and he's going to. We'll see how stubborn he is and his agent is. I'm not sure who his agent is, off the top of my head, but they should get around there, in my opinion.
Let's check. Liz Mullen.
Oh, he has a all-female team. Oh no, that's Jalen Hurts. No,
that's Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
I'm not sure who.
He's represented by Ryan Williams and Austin Lyman of Athletes First.
I've heard of Athletes First.
Yeah,
I've heard they get good deals for their players.
Yeah, it says that they get a lot of money guaranteed off of their type deals that they get. So we'll see.
Well, we'll see what Tua ends up getting. I don't think it's going to happen in the next couple of days, in my opinion. I think that deal's way farther off compared to where Jordan Love is. I honestly don't think they get that until next offseason, in my opinion, with where they are at right now. I think they're just in two different spectrums, basically.
Yeah, currently everybody's speculating for Tua to get that 50 million, 51 million, a little bit north of the 50. But I mean, that's why there's such a holdup here. I don't think that the Dolphins want to pay him that much because they want a quarterback that's probably going to do a team-friendly deal. And I don't know if Tua wants that, especially with the types of injuries he's had and everything he's had to go through. He wants a big paycheck, like everybody does.
For sure. All right. So let's move on to the Nets thing. And that's going to be way too early Super Bowl takes. Yes, everybody's favorite time of the year where we just talk out of our butt and say, oh, for sure, I know on July 22nd, I know who's going to be in the Super Bowl all the way in February.
Yeah.
I know. This is where we say, oh, I'm going to place a bet on this. I'm going to put $5 right now on this.
And I'm going to win $1 million.
$1,000 or whatever. And yeah, this is where people come alive right now. So, hey, if you're watching right now, go ahead and put in the comments who's yours way too early Super Bowl take. Who's gonna be in the matchup? One from AFC and one from NFC, obviously, and then who is going to win it? All right. So,
jeez.
Right now, I'll go ahead and read off AJ's Super Bowl prediction. He did not put a winner, but with who he put as the Super Bowl prediction, I already know who he thinks is going to win. Okay, so AJ, who's not able to be here today, he's on a work trip, is saying Kansas City versus San Francisco, another repeat of last year's Super Bowl. I think he just wants revenge. He wants Kansas City to be there, and he wants to beat down Taylor Swift and say 49ers are the Super Bowl champions. So I think that's what AJ wants. He did not put who's going to win, so there's potentiality. He thinks Kansas City's going to win again and three-peat. But I'm going to assume that he's going to say that the San Francisco 49ers will win this Super Bowl. So that's what AJ thinks. Kansas City versus San Fran. Go ahead in the comments, put who you think is going to win. Vincent, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go?
Yeah, so I'm going to say a few teams on the AFC side that I think could possibly go deep in the playoffs here. Of course, I think Baltimore will get their first pesky playoff win with Lamar Jackson. So I think they're a high possibility. But I also think that Cleveland could be a high possibility there as like a sleeper going into playoffs. But all in all, I do think Kansas City is going to go back. They just have that type of team. They have the coach in Andy Reid, who's been there multiple times already. And I don't think anybody on the AFC side right now has the firepower to just beat Kansas City in primetime playoff matchups. Even though they don't have home field advantage probably this year, I still think Kansas City just has that it factor with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and of course a couple other guys on defense because they've kind of lost a lot of their luster there on the offensive side. But that's what I think AFC. I think for sure Kansas City will be back in the Super Bowl. It just makes sense. It'll be great for news and all that mumbo jumbo with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce if they're still together by then. But I just think that one makes sense. Now the NFC, where it's really, really hard to really tell who's going to be there. Of course, the 49ers are obvious suspect. They're the number one team on every metric, if not the number two team. So, of course, I think that they're going to go in the playoffs pretty far. But I also think Detroit is another team that nobody's really been talking about. And I think they're hungry. I think they're mad about last year and how it went down because they could have possibly won against the 49ers in that conference. It was before the conference championship. It was in the divisional round. They could have won. But, just some mishaps here and there. It just didn't go their way. And it's unfortunate. But I think the Lions learned from that. I think that they are a big contender. And then, of course, I think the Packers are a contender. I think they're going to be the sleeper team because I don't think they're going to win the division this year. But as they showed last year, they are a team to reckon with. And I really don't see any other teams right now as my front runners. So those are my three on the NFC side. Hopefully the Seahawks can muster up some wins and get to the playoffs because a lot of metrics have us going way below 500 on the season. But I think I'm going to go with the Lions to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
Kansas City versus Detroit Lions.
All right. Who wins?
I hope the Detroit Lions win. I would want them to win.
Nasty. All right. I like it. All right, let's get to the comments before I give mine. Big Money Joe says 49ers versus 49ers, and guess what? The 49ers win. I think that's the AFC 49ers win, so the NFC 49ers lose. I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, so he means the Chiefs.
I cannot accept this, Big Money Joe. I need an AFC candidate, all right? We got you saying the 49ers are going to win it all, but I need an actual AFC from you, okay? Dizzle says Dizzle's Super Bowl projection is New York Giants go all the way for a Super Bowl trade for Devontae Adams and make it to the Super Bowl versus Philly. See, for me, a lot of people are saying Philly's going to be like one of the best teams out there. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. With losing Jason Kelsey, Jalen Hurts they're not going to be able to do that. The Philly the tush push, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I think put their offense over the top. I think it's still a good offense. I think they're still going to put up points, but that defense, man, I know they got a good front seven still. It's not as good as that Super Bowl run, but it's still a good front seven. But that backfield is just horrible in my opinion. They did address it in the draft, but I don't think it's enough for them to actually be able to win a Super Bowl. So I don't see it at all.
You don't think the Caucasian backfield is going to be it, Reed?
It's the Ku Klux something. I forget what the last one they call it. The Ku Klux Clamps. That's what they call them.
Clamps?
Yeah, the Ku Klux Clamps. That's what they call those two. I don't think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be good in the future. But rookie corners, they can be really good. But as far as like pushing your team to a Super Bowl, and I do believe you need a great corner in order to win a Super Bowl, I don't think they have it.
Yeah.
And that team last year did not look good at all at the end of last year. AFC will either be Kansas City, New York Giants, or Bengals. NFC is going to be tough. I agree. San Francisco, Philly, or Detroit, in my opinion. The Philly ones where we just differ there, Dizzle. Don't sleep on the GOAT, or I read that wrong. Don't sleep on the rapist out in Cleveland. I think he will be back to his old self. Okay. Very interesting. I usually don't like root for rapists, but you do you, Dizzle.
Hey, man. Sounds like Dizzle.
I'm not going to put that on Dizzle. Jesus Christ. Philly coach is holding them back. Yeah, I don't. That Super Bowl run was because their offensive and defensive coordinator, both who landed good head coaching jobs, and I think are doing pretty decent as head coaches. I think definitely in Indianapolis. I forget which one that is. I think it's Gannon, right? In Indy.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think he's doing a good job. The other guy in Arizona, I think, is also doing a decent job. He's not doing horrible, right? He could be doing a lot worse.
He hasn't had any cringy moments yet, so he's been out of the spotlight so far.
He had a cringy moment in his first day.
I know.
With the white, I don't know what that was. But he was carried so much by that those coordinators. I don't think he's gonna. I think he might lose his job next year. That's where I honestly put the Philadelphia Eagles. Only time will tell. 100%. We're all just guessing right now, as we know in every single season. Top teams that we thought were going to be great completely fall off, like the Jets last year. We thought the Jets were going to be up here. They were down here last year. And teams that we thought were going to be mid to even horrible ended up becoming a great roster, like the Texans last year. Nobody thought they were ready to run last year. They were ready to run.
Yep. And
Cincy versus San Fran. Bengals win. Joe Burrow gets his first Super Bowl, says Andrea. I like it. Cincy is Kansas City's kryptonite. Ooh. I think Saquon with Hurst is going to be insane.
Hopefully.
I think that is good. I think that offensive line is going to be incredible for Saquon.
Yeah. Him going from the worst line in the league to the best line in the league, minus Kelsey, Oh yeah, one of the best.
So
Travis
solid.
Kelce. Still great. Yeah. It should be good for fantasy purposes. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
RPO with Hurts and Saquon and AJ. Sheesh, it's very good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But we'll see. We'll see. They need defense to round it out because they can't keep the ball on the offensive side as long as they could have if Jason Kelce was still there. So it's a big thing for the center to be gone.
All right. So we have AJ's Super Bowl take. We have Vincent's Super Bowl take. Big money. Joe has kind of put a Super Bowl take out there. Dizzle says the Jets are winning it all. Andrea says the Bengals are winning it all. What does Reed have to say? So this is really tough for me, honestly. It's tough to say, especially I think on the AFC side for me, to say who gets in there. I think the Chiefs are definitely the most dominant. I think they have a great chance to three-peat this year. I think they've had upgrades in wide receiver room, which has very much helped Patrick Mahomes. And he's not going to have as bad of a year. It was technically a bad year for him last year. So I think the Chiefs have the best chance. A lot of people are saying the Texans have a good chance. I don't really see it. I think they are going to definitely make the playoffs and do well. But I don't think that they're going to be able to win a Super Bowl. I don't think they're ready just like that yet. People say the Ravens, Lamar and them, they just haven't been able to get it done in the playoffs. I can't put. I wanted to say Ravens. I say they really got it done. This Ravens team, I just don't believe. I need to see it to believe it. We saw them win 13 games last year and still not be able to win, go to a Super Bowl. I'm just not going to believe it right now. And then we head over to the Jets. Jets, I really want to say Jets. I really think Aaron Rodgers has a good chance of winning it all with a good defense. The last time we saw him have such a great defense was when he won the Super Bowl in 2010, when he had great defensive players like Charles Woodson, B.J. Raji.
Yeah, that's a crazy line.
And Clay Matthews in his rookie year, etc. There were so many great players on that team. And he was able to win a Super Bowl because he had a defense to complement him. All those other years in the Packers, as a Packer fan who watched other teams put up 30-plus points against my Packers in the playoffs, I think he has a good chance to be able to win a Super Bowl this year. Don't do that. Sorry. Dog's biting on something. I really want to say Jets, but I'm gonna have to stick with the Chiefs just because of Patrick Mahomes in the playoff is just so hard to beat. I thought he was gonna get beat last year because he was gonna be on the road. It doesn't matter if he's on the road. It doesn't matter if he's home. He's Patrick Mahomes, and he's gonna play great in the playoffs. I really hope they don't make the playoffs because I really would love to see another team like the Jets in there. But as far as today, what I'm predicting, it's gonna be the Chiefs. Sorry. Hopefully by playoffs, I can say, oh, Aaron Rodgers got this. Jets in the bag. I want to say that. But right now, it's going to have to be the Chiefs. On the NFC side, obviously, San Fran's at the top of the list. With what they've been able to do the past couple of years, with how Brock Purdy and the offense is playing, and they still have a great defense with incredible players all around. I think they have a great chance to win it all again this year. And my second option is going to be the Detroit Lions. I very much hope they do not, because I do not want the Lions or the Vikings to ever win a Super Bowl and forever be poverty franchises as they have been for so long. That's what I want to happen. Well, if I'm being honest, as much as I want to hate this Lions team, they are great all around. That offense has so many different weapons to attack you. On the wide receiver side, on the tight end, the quarterback, as much as we want to hate on him, especially AJ and Vincent, he is playing good football. And that running back room with Gibbs and Monty, it's a great running back room. That offense is hard to stop. They're going to be putting up 30 points a game if you don't have a way to stop all of that, which is a lot to stop. The defensively side, I don't really think much of them. Aiden Hutchinson obviously is good. There's other key players around that are good. But overall as a team, I don't think as a defensive squad, I don't think it's that great. That's where I think the Lions are going to potentially falter in the playoffs, just like they did last year, that collapse that they had against the Niners in the NFC Championship. It cost them the game and potentially cost them a Super Bowl. And then my last one, because I don't think Philly's a threat. I don't think the Cowboys are a threat. I don't think anybody else in the NFC West is a threat. My last one is the Packers. Last year, we saw them go from not a very good team to where they were able to sneak into the playoffs last game, where it beat down the Bears when they thought they were going to be able to steal something from us. Ha ha ha. Very funny. And we were able to go into Dallas and shock the Cowboys and Cowboy Nation, as we always do. And we were able to win a dominant football game in the playoffs as the 7th seed. I think the first 7 seeds to ever win a game in the playoffs, if I'm correct. But I know usually 7 seeds get demolished in the first round. It's like, why did we even let this guy in? It's embarrassing. And we were able to win a game. And then we went into San Fran and almost won that game too. For 3 quarters, we dominated that football game. I know it's hard to remember that because the result was the Niners winning with that late interception Jordan Love threw to end the game. The 49ers were losing that game. They were not playing a very good game, and CMC took over in that second half and became the absolute monster that he is, and the Packers lost. Now, moving forward, and then the Packers also beat Detroit on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. I think we can beat Detroit. I do believe the Packers have a very good chance to make the Super Bowl. Obviously, as far as percentages, if I said was gonna happen, Niners, Lions, and then Packers. But as far as my Super Bowl prediction, I'm putting the Packers in. All right, I'm saying that it's going to be Kansas City versus the Packers in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to say, because I'm not trying to be completely biased, I'm going to say Kansas City is going to three-peat, and Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes, and we're just going to falter just a little bit. What do you think, Vince?
So Patrick Mahomes versus Patrick Mahomes, right, Reed?
Yes, because Jordan Love is yes.
I mean, I like your pick too. I think it comes down to those 4 teams that we talked about on the NFC side, and I think it comes down to just Kansas City being Kansas City in the playoffs. We have some decently good teams that always make the playoffs on the AFC side, but I mean, they just get steamrolled whenever they come up against the Chiefs. So it is what it is. But yeah, I like your picks. So we'll see who ends up being correct, me or AJ.
All right. Kate Dizzle says Detroit upgraded at cornerback. Didn't really lose that much. I'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it. And then Aaron Jones broke a long run. I really thought the Packers were going to beat San Francisco. Too bad y'all have an ass kicker. There's a kicker competition. That's all I have to say about that now. We'll see if I forget his. I'm losing his name on top of my head. But yeah, our kicker is very inaccurate. Unfortunately, he has a hell of a leg. I believe he hit it like a 60-yarder somewhere in the year. I don't remember what week it was, but he did hit a 60-yarder technically.
Was he the kicker from Iowa or something like that?
Something, but his brother is the Saints kicker.
Oh yeah.
I forget his name. I
can't remember the name either.
I'm losing it. Hold on, give me 1 second.
No, yeah, but I do agree with Reed's picks. I think it could be the Packers, could be the Lions. That division is getting pretty good, and the Bears might actually end up being a decent team as well. So maybe that division will run the NFC now.
Y'all should switch him for his brother Dan. No Las Vegas kicker Dan Carlson. He was with the Saints. Yeah. He was with the Saints and got traded to the Raiders. That's what happened. If I'm correct, I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong. Crazy Reed doesn't know the kicker name of his own team. See, when I get on live, I instantly just stop remembering names.
Yeah. It's a lot harder when you're here because you're thinking of other things while you're trying to think of.
Yeah, it's Anderson. It's Anderson Carlson. Yeah. He was drafted by Las Vegas? Maybe. All right. I'm wrong. But yeah, that's my Super Bowl picks. Hopefully our kicker situation can get fixed, and then we can win a Super Bowl. We'll see. I miss Mason Crosby. May he get young again and be our kicker and not
Hey,
make me
man.
have to worry about kicks for 20 years.
I remember telling you, Reed, I said, don't you just want Crosby back? And you're like, no,
He
he has
lost
no
his
leg.
leg.
He has no leg.
He lost his leg, man.
And
As
then what
someone who's
happened?
watched his kicks for years, he lost his
Yeah,
leg.
he did.
His accuracy is there. Like he's right there all the time.
Hey,
He
man.
just can't get the kick up anymore.
Get him at a 45-yard field goal, and he's money.
He's money, but those 50-yarders, he can't. Like, it's a 50-50 bet if he's going to be able to have enough juice to just get it right over the field goal post, man. It sucks. He can still, Folk can still make it 40 and John, or what? Yeah, he
And in 40 and in, I think.
Oh, okay. You can still hit those like easy ones where you don't have to put all the power into it, but he just lost his power, man. Such a great player. The leading packer of like all time in points.
Yeah.
Mason Crosby is one of because the only person that has more starts as a Packer is Brett Favre. Mason Crosby has the second most starts of all time. That's how great he was.
Longevity, man. Longevity.
I'll forever miss him. All right. What was our next topic? Yes, we will end up with Ayuk is still having. I can't believe we're still talking about Ayuk since the Super Bowl. We've been talking about Ayuk. Ayuk has still not gotten a contract done. He has requested a trade. Big Money Joe has said that he is. There's rumors of it getting done soon. Those rumors I've heard is nothing has been talked about since like May, basically. Ayuk is most likely going to hold out from training camp. This is to be the fourth year in a row that there is a holdout or hold in with the San Francisco 49ers. And I got to say, man, AJ is just tired of all this. He is sick and tired.
Every year, bro.
Every year, man. Every year.
He's got to wait until August for something to get done, if it gets done at all.
Yeah. So, yeah, most likely Ayuk will be holding out. From everything that I've heard and honestly what I believe, I do not think he's going to get traded. As much as I like to throw trade rumors out there, he's going to get traded, etc., I do not think the 49ers are going to trade him. I think they're either going to make him play out of this deal currently, or they're going to he's going to cave and sign whatever deal they want him to sign. But with their cap situation right now, I don't think they can afford to pay him what he wants to get paid. What other teams would pay him if they had Ayuk on their team. Right now, Ayuk is not going to get paid what he wants. It's up to him if he wants to just play out this deal or accept the 49ers' lower offer. Or what could potentially happen is Deebo Samuel gets traded and Ayuk gets the big deal. Deebo gets shipped out. Ayuk stays. They get rid of Deebo Samuel's backloaded contract and only get his first couple years, which would be good for them. They send him out, and then they take on Ayuk. Friendly first few years deals and able to keep most of this team together. Now they're trying to keep everybody together, which is why this whole contract thing is happening, where they're trying to keep him, don't want to move on from him, etc. They're trying to keep everybody because they want to win the Super Bowl this year. They are so hungry for it. They do not want to wait or put this thing off for, hey, let's build a team in the next couple of years. They want to win it now. They have a lot of old heads, as Dizzle calls them, with Kittle, Trent Williams, CMC. As far as running back years, he's getting old technically. They are trying to win this right now. So Ayuk is going to hold out. We'll see where the cards fall, though.
Yep. Yeah, I think Ayuk has the biggest possibility of getting traded. But once August 10th comes around, that's when we'll figure out if it's going to actually be likely. I know that it's usually a month before football starts is when these 49ers players start to, sign or just like take a deal that San Francisco is offering. So we'll see around that mid-August time. Around Reed's birthday is probably when Ayuk will sign. So August 10th or 12th, just for you guys who don't know Reed's birthday.
Please don't put my birthday out there.
It's one of those days.
I don't
One of
like
those
people
days.
know my birthday.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think there's a higher possibility he gets traded because I think Ayuk is one of those guys who wants the money. Yes, a ring is very savorable, especially when you're on a super team like the 49ers. But I think he's after the money more than he is about playing with 49ers. You can see it in the way he walks and the way he talks. Uh, he's just putting up a front saying that he wants to be a 49er because he thinks that's where his money's going to come from. But that's just me.
All right. Kajil says, do you think bacteria could kick field goals? Bacteria, I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. He's talking about Bakhtiari, but butchered the spelling of it like totally.
It's with a K.
Yeah, it's a lot with a lot of different letters in that.
A lot of them, yeah. A K and an H.
Bakhtiari is a free agent, man. He is trying desperately. I'm surprised Aaron Rodgers hasn't, like, media-wise, like, sticking out more for Bakhtiari. But I think he's trying to land with the Jets right now. We'll see if he does, though. Crazy San Francisco didn't accept an early second from the patch for Ayuk. They want too much for him, man.
First. They want
a first. Give me a first for that guy. I don't want him as a Pats fan, though, TBH. Would rather have T. Higgins. Interesting. Okay. Washington, maybe he will go. I think if he goes anywhere, in my opinion, he ends up with the Commanders. That's just where all the traction has been. But we'll see. I ultimately, I don't think he gets traded. I think he's a 49er this year. As much as I love to see all the drama and be able to talk about something, he's most likely a 49er.
Most likely.
CD would be nice to have the Pats uni next year. There ain't no way they're letting CD walk out of there. I'm surprised he hasn't got a contract yet. Or fought for a new contract.
I'm surprised too. But I think he's just waiting to see where Dak Prescott falls because it's going to be like those situations where Jefferson was kind of waiting for a contract to see who his quarterback was going to be. I think that's what CD is doing also.
All right. Angel, his first ever comment. He's been a long time listener, subscriber to the show, and his first ever comment. So appreciate it, Angel. Reads B-Day leaked. Now, nobody's allowed to know, especially at work. I don't like being celebrated. Nobody knows about my birthday. All right?
Nobody.
You won't even be here, Mr. Vacation. Pats were one pick away from Justin Jefferson is so painful. Dude, the Packers were sitting there waiting for Justin Jefferson to just fall to us. And then the Vikings jumped us, took Justin Jefferson, and we had to settle with our new franchise quarterback, Jordan Love.
Yeah, man. Works out.
Still love Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Or at least not to be with the Vikings. At least not to be with the Vikings, man.
Generational talent, man.
Yep. Big Money Joe says, "What's up, Angel?" So smiley face and salute.
Sweet.
All right, so yeah, Ayuk is most likely going to hold out. We'll see what he ends up finally doing with them. But as far as our topics for today, I think that's it. Vincent, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, man, it's just good to catch up with some of the news that's happened in the NFL so far. Still a little slower than we want it to at this point in time, but this is when fantasy starts heating up. You know, everybody starts making all these hype videos and training camp of these guys and all these secret types of offensive schemes that people are trying to do and trying to keep secret from all the other teams. But we're just 1 week closer, man, to preseason football and then regular season football where it all counts. So I'm excited.
All right. This will put a little Jet saying he's the biggest Jets fan out there, which is so strange for a Patriots fan.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to bed, boys. Big day of work tomorrow. I got internet presentations to watch and team lunch. Very cool. Good for you, Dizzle. Make sure you hit that run before, though, man. You hit that run. Going to Grub. Good for you. This is a live action picture of Dizzle grabbing grub with his drink. Have to go. Have a good night. Hey, you have a great night, Andrea. Intern, not internet. Okay, gotcha. Did I read that? Oh, he just spelled it. Okay, I thought I read it wrong. Autocorrect. All right, well, you guys have a great night. Thank you guys for tuning in. The NFL training camps are starting this week. They started last week. NFL is right around the corner. The Hall of Fame game is like 2 weeks away. Football, you can actually smell it. Like you walk outside, you breathe in.
Fresh cut grass.
Oh, I can smell football again. I breathe football, you know? It feels good. It feels good to be back in the fall area. We're finally getting close to this. You're running a 5K this Saturday. We wish you luck, Dizzle, all right? What's your mile pace you want him at this 5K?
I want him to be under sub 20 for the entire thing.
Sub 20?
Yeah, he's got to have a 6 mile and something pace.
Gotcha. All right, TK Dizzle, that's your challenge. Well, I can't wait for next Monday. You tell us how it went.
Yes, sir.
Oh, geez. Cowboys go 9-8 and don't make the playoffs. We'll see.
Good very.
I don't think they'll go 9-8. I think they win 10+ games.
Yeah,
I still think they win the division. I think Eagles don't win it. He just did a mock last week in 1827. Ooh,
nice.
Hey, he's already on pace.
That's true, man. You're on I would say like a 6-minute flat pace because you still got to run those 0.2 miles. So I'll add those 27 seconds there. Maybe you're getting into the sub 6s already for your mile pace. Not bad.
All right. Adrenaline will get me to go a little faster. Hey, or it messes you up. What'd you just do there, Vince?
He's gonna inject adrenaline.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
No. All right. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in. We'll get more and more into and have even more episodes as we get closer and closer to this NFL season. And until next time, keep on grinding.